Hi guys, welcome back to the latest video. Today we are covering the long-awaited chapter 320. I just want to say thank you all for all the recent support and everything, and without further ado, let's hop right in the chapter. So the chapter starts and we see Iida with a serious expression, thinking about how stubborn Midoriya is. Bakugo reveals to Deku that they already know about his new quirks from the 4th, 5th, and 6th users. He also makes fun of his looks. If you remember, Deku is covered in blood, dirt, and filth and looks absolutely disgusting. Looks like nothing like a hero, so it only makes sense that Bakugo would make fun of him. Deku thanks them for looking for him and activates Smokescreen to run away, which Ochako recognizes as the 6th user's quirk. Bakugo reacts with his own new move, Shockwave Landmine, to clear the fog, and resumes saying that Deku now sees everyone else as secondary since he's stronger. This is kind of contrary to what people thought. People thought Deku was about to fight his class, and it seems his first move is to run away, so let's see what else happens. Koda sends many pigeons his way and yells that Neta gave his approval so he can come back to UA, and Deku keeps saying he is sorry as he uses Black Whip to move away, but Sarah stops him by using his tape on it. He then tells Deku he was prepared for the quirk since he knows it, and a flashback of them training together is shown. While mid-air, Jiro appears and attacks with her new move called Heartbeat Wall. She says that even though he may not remember anymore, his advice during the Culture Festival was very useful, and it made her happy. It seems they are trying to get on his sentimental side. Midoriya keeps running until Ojiro grabs him with his tornado tail dance, and he asks him if he remembers during the sports festival when he got mad because of his fight against Shinzo, and says that he can't accept that Midoriya is the only one getting hurt. Deku states that while he is being pursued, everyone around him is in danger as he remembers what happened to Aizawa, Gran Torino, and Bakugo when they fought Shigaraki. With a villainous look on his face and sheer strength, Deku escapes once again. Sato grabs Ojiro and Jiro in midair and screams at Deku that he won't help him with giving candy apples to Eri anymore if he continues to run from him. Deku mutters to himself that Eri will be alright even if he's not around, and then he's taken by surprise by a machine created by Momo. It was supposed to make him sleep, but Deku destroys it before the effect kicks in. Kind of notable within this, it seems that everybody in the class is trying to get on his sentimental side, reminding him of these immense experiences they had together. In fact, they're even bringing out little Eri, and that just breaks my heart. I don't know how Deku's going to be handling it, hearing that he won't be able to ever give Eri her candy apples that he promised her. He won't be able to relive these memories with his classmates that he cherishes. Kaminari shoulder hugs Deku to prevent him from escaping, questioning him about One for All being the only thing he thinks is important. Even if their hobbies are different, Kaminari still considers themselves friends and he wants Deku to count on him. Shoji takes the opportunity and covers the two of them with special tape created by Momo. Tokoyami then uses his new technique, Dark Shadow Ragnarok, and locks two of them on a sphere of shadow. Tokoyami comments that the idea of using Dark Shadow in a defensive way came from Deku himself during the cavalry battle of the sports festival. Kaminari is still holding Deku inside the Shadow Orb and asks him to take a bath as soon as possible. Deku breaks free while screaming, destroying a big portion of the building they were in. Tokoyami is impressed to see Dark Shadow Ragnarok being overpowered. We then see Deku's mask fall off and we see him holding back tears. He says that he knows his friends are genuinely worried about him, to a point that Danger Sense hasn't even been activated once during this fight. But he needs them to understand that he's okay and has to keep doing this on his own. This is really heartbreaking. We see that although Deku has kind of lost himself within his ambitions, he's still Deku at the end of the day, and he's crying. We haven't seen Crybaby Deku for a while, and I know Twitter and Reddit is going to be all over Crybaby Deku once again. It's also interesting to see that Deku knew at all points during this fight he was never in danger, and then instead this fight wasn't even a fight, it was more so a rescue, and his danger sense wasn't activated because there was never danger from his classmates. They're not aiming to harm him. Shoto stops Deku using his heaven-piercing ice wall. He asks Deku if his burden doesn't even allow him to cry like a normal person. He says that Deku should share this burden with all of them. Sue is next to him saying that she won't let Deku get away, that she's tired of crying while feeling helpless. Her friends should be allowed to tremble when they're in fear, and cry when they're in pain. If Deku's plan is to become a superhero like those in the comics, Class 1A will be by his side, turning fiction into reality. And with the chapter ending here, I think it's kind of a surprise to all of us as fans that there wasn't much of a fight, and additionally, we haven't yet seen really much of Iida, Bakugo, or Uraraka, the three who were posed and ready to take on Deku. The three who were posed and ready to take on Deku at the end of the last chapter. I was really looking forward to seeing some of the fight take place, and although this part of the story isn't completely done, and in the next chapter there can be a lot more that happens, you know, I wanted to see Bakugo and Deku face off, but Clearly, no one in Class 1A is trying to harm Deku remotely, and Deku's not trying to harm them either. He's merely trying to escape, and while escaping, he's crying, and he's super emotional. All of the comments from his classmates all seem to stem around the fact that they love Deku and they care about him, and they're really trying to touch him within his emotional side to kind of remind him that they're his friends, and that even if he wants to take on the world by himself, just don't do it by yourself, have us with you, is what they're saying. And this chapter was very much so a friendship chapter, it seems. And although that's always lovely within anime and shonen, I'm interested to see if Horikoshi will stick with that narrative, or he'll take a different spin on it. And again, we'll see Ida, Bakugo, and Uraraka, the three with the most determination to stop him, all fight against Deku. I was reading and I was reminded that whenever Deku saved Ida from himself, now Ida is trying to save Deku from himself. And it's probably extremely heartbreaking for Ida to see the man who saved him now enveloped by darkness himself. And don't forget, Stain is still around the corner, and Stain can still merge his head within this side of the story. All in all, it was a really good chapter, but I'm not sure if it's all what we wanted for in terms of everyone's predictions I've seen around YouTube and the comments. So hopefully within the next chapter, or whenever the official translations are completely revealed and released publicly, that there will be a lot more things that we can kind of add on to that can lead us to the idea that there is the possible fight still awaiting. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, as always, please don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and leave me any video recommendations y'all want me to cover. As always guys, I'll see you all next time.